So I was thinking about it, and I think it might be best to make this video before Ramadan, which is tomorrow night. Yeah. So this video is about the preparation steps before Ramadan. But I mean, you can do this during Ramadan too, but I'm doing this for myself to help me get into finalizing some preparation thoughts that I have been thinking about, because I've kind of put together like a list of what kind of things am I trying to bring back into my life or trying to start in my life, and just like a bunch of things. But I think that it's something that I realized from last Ramadan, and I mean for my general experience in life, is that Ramadan is so exciting, okay, and it's so amazing. It's such a beautiful time that it can get overwhelming in a way, because it's just so amazing that sometimes that part of you that is just so excited about it wants to do everything and just take all the courses, listen to all the lectures, do all this, pray this many times, and just do do a lot, take in a lot, and just really want to take advantage of this month so much. And for me, that's a really difficult thing to back off a little and to just calm down and not do all that. Because for me, I think it takes away this stillness and tranquility piece from the month if it is focused too much on the Islamic productivity side of it, and the doing side of it, than the experience side of it, when you want to experience transformation. And I think experiencing transformation is a balance between, putting in effort to change and do and learn, but it also is giving yourself the time to allow those changes to instill in your life and to reflect on them and to actually take them in. So it's kind of like finding a balance. So in the previous Ramadans in my life, I think I focused way too much on the I'm gonna start all these habits, I'm gonna do all these things, it's gonna be great, Yeah, and it was great, but I mean, I think it's important before each Ramadan to reflect on what is it that you currently need in your state. Not necessarily what's easy for you to do and achieve. For some people, it's easy to read a lot of Quran. It's easy for them. It's not difficult. But should that be your priority, your focus? Is that what you need? Because I think when you go into Ramadan, I think a big part of it is trying to bring in something that you need in your life, or something that you can really benefit from. And so really reflecting on that, and how it is a very personal experience, and it's customized to each individual at whatever stage they're at and whatever makeup they're made up of, and what time you are in life. Thus, what you need now might be different what you needed last year, and so on. So, preparing and going into Ramadan, I think it's important to try not to get sucked into what everyone is talking about, what everyone's focusing about, what everyone's offering, even these YouTube videos, if they're not like good for you, you know, to really think, okay, like, what is it do I feel like I'm missing in my strengthening relationship in my with God, my spirituality? Like, what is it that I need to work on? Do I need to work on putting in more effort to really understand the Quran instead of just like reading it, reciting it? Or maybe it is focusing on reciting it. Do I need to work on my spending quality time with God, like, and for it to feel like it? Is it intentions? Is it it could be so many things. Is it reading more knowledge stuff? Like, there's so many different things, and I think that can make Ramadan really powerful, because we can go into it having general ideas of what we want to focus on. And I mean, I have a long list of things that I want to either I have kind of perfected in the past, but life has made me stumble, and I want to re-bring that into my life, but it's not going to be too much of a struggle because I've already worked on it before. Like, I've got a bunch of lists of things that I kind of want to hone in on again, but at the same time, I want to remind myself that I need to reflect on which ones are my priority. Which ones are things that I'm actually challenging myself. And they're not just something that I can do and it'll be great. It's which ones do I feel like I need to use this month to really, like, take a good, like, effort at, like, fixing it or bringing it into my life. And yeah, so reflecting on which ones are kind of your priority, and they shouldn't be too much. I don't think so. Maybe pick, like, you know, like 1 or 2 things that you kind of are going to be super strict and self-disciplined about. The other ones you can let go, you know, like, you can every now and then, if you slip up, like, you know, that's fine. It's not your focus, your priority. You're working on them, but they're not your focus, your priority. But the other ones, like, if it's a daily thing that you want to do, really try to get those daily things in. You know, you might slip up as well, you know, you're human, but, like, make that, like, your priority. And the way you want to schedule your life in these next few days and this next month is for these top priority things that you want to work on. If it's something that you kind of have to schedule in or around, try not to just run your life and then schedule them in. Try to structure your life around having them to exist naturally and peacefully without that much effort. And I'm not speaking in vague terms here, but I mean, I'm talking about general concept. Because if you do that and you create this month that allows these 2 things or whatever to flourish in this month in a way that allows that to continue happening when the month is over. That you don't want to just be able to do this during this month. You want to be able to do this, have this, be this, not just for this month, but for the months to come. And that is through planning, not just for this month, but for the practical life ahead of you. So it's trying to structure your life in a practical way that will allow you to continue with these things. So like, I'll give you a personal example, but that's just for my example, is that there is something that I wanted to really bring into my life, and not just in Ramadan. And what that meant is, because I had this practical goal, I wasn't really spending Ramadan the way a lot of people would spend it, where they, like, a lot of people would be awake during this time, or like sleep during this time, or something like that. Like, I almost didn't change my routine that much from my day-to-day life, just because I wanted to perfect having that thing that I wanted to bring into my life in my normal life as much as possible, so that when Ramadan's over, well, it's just like normal life. I'm still having it. I'm still, like, it's still carrying on. I'm still carrying on that that good thing. It's not like a big shift. Oh, how do I carry on doing this thing, because I was able to do this thing only in Ramadan, because Ramadan was just catered to do it. Like, try not to think of it that way. Like, you kind of get to control how you want to structure your Ramadan. Like, don't let whatever people's structures of Ramadan dictate how your Ramadan is structured. Structure your Ramadan in according to your goals, to your priority, in a way that is practical to keep it going. I mean, that's my advice for myself, because it's hard. It's hard to do that. It's almost like a collective pressure of people just wanting to do such amazing things, you know? But I think that the important thing about advice in general in life, Ramadan related, not Ramadan related, just advice in general, from internet, from people, from books, is that it's advice. And advice is going to work for some people and not going to work for some people. People are different. They need different things. So my advice is to take what you need. Because people are different. Not everything is for everybody in a sense that it's going to be perfectly applied the same way and understood the same way and everything. So yeah, that's my message, because I want to try to narrow down some of my priorities for this Ramadan. It's going to be slightly different than the previous Ramadan, and I think that's going to be interesting. That's what makes it exciting, is that hopefully you're going to come out of this different in a good way. And so, what is those different things that you want to bring in and work on? I hope that was beneficial and that provided some perspective. Yeah. And I guess I remembered another thing I wanted to say is, so even like for last Ramadan, like my goal was to, carry on those things even after Ramadan. And I did for a very long time. And they brought like a lot of good in my life, and it was really good. But now that Ramadan came around again, it's like I didn't carry them into my life, because I kind of don't have them going on right now in my life. And so it feels like, oh no, did I really fail at Ramadan because I didn't carry it on until now? I don't think that's the case. I mean, that's why Ramadan is amazing, and it comes every year, and it comes in a time where it's just like, oh, okay, like this is, I need it. I need to rejuvenate. I need to refocus and bring that back into my life, because, stuff in life happens where you fall off the wagon. I don't know if that's the right phrase, but like, you trip up and it's hard to get back on. And so Ramadan comes around and it's a little bit easier to get back to where you want to be. But that doesn't erase the progress of what I did last Ramadan, because I did carry it after Ramadan for quite a bit and it had a lasting impact. So I just wanted to let you know, if you're coming into Ramadan thinking, oh my goodness, I didn't carry anything from the last Ramadan, like, starting all over again from ground zero. That's not true. Your progress is not erased. It does accumulate within you. It makes it easier to get back into it. We're human, so while you're trying to prioritize and focus and prepare for Ramadan, it's always great to also just ask God to help you in prioritizing and focusing and make it easy and to guide you and to help you along the way, because it's through God. It's through God that we get to do all this stuff. And may we live to see the end of this Ramadan, the beginning of this Ramadan. Looking forward to sharing some more thoughts. May peace be upon you all.